What is going on, you guys? Welcome to Let's Talk. I'm Angelo.
I'm Grisette.
I'm Catalina.
I'm Callista.
I'm Luis.
And I'm Caleb.
And today we're going to be talking about the new cell phone rule that's going to be introduced into the second 6 weeks of Kingsville ISD.
So you
The
mean
second
second semester?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm
It's the
correct.
whole
Okay,
semester.
well, you know we're trying to do one take here. You know you're gonna mess it up, but I don't know. Whatever.
You messed it up.
What? Well, I mean, you corrected me. We could have just rolled on with it.
Oh, okay. So who's to blame for this policy to take away cell phones?
Well, I would say mostly the freshmen and sophomores at our school.
And juniors.
No offense, Grisette.
No offense, Carolina. but-
None taken.
Yeah, it's mainly the lower craftsmen because they really messed up on the retest.
They were really, really
Mhm.
good.
It was in the teens, the scores.
Yeah. And like
So-
we're mostly higher. We're wiser. Us juniors
Sure.
and seniors.
Us juniors.
Sure.
Us juniors and
Us juniors?
seniors.
Okay, they're
Sure.
talking about both juniors and seniors, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Both juniors and seniors are wiser, and we are smarter, and we've got perfect scores compared to them.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's
Sure
no
about
need to
that.
talk down on the lower classmates.
but
They're
Considering
getting
that, Considering
there.
that you are
So,
them,
I used to be them.
you're part
Used
of
to
them.
be.
Do you think that the reason that the phones are getting worse with the lower generations is because technology is getting greater and greater, so they're more used to it, unlike us? Even though we're born into technology, it wasn't as much as them.
I mean, I'm more used to it. I mean, I'm a very technical guy.
It's just like we use technology for everything now. Like they even spent all this money on like Chromebooks, so we could like it's just more and more technology just being
I
developed.
could just use my phone for Google Classroom.
But really, it's
That
not.
is true.
I don't blame the phones for our low test scores. Like they're not the problem. Like
Yeah, like I
it's
don't
the
blame
kid.
them.
It's the kids like not wanting to do their work, not wanting to pay attention in class because all they want to do is be on their phones.
I've seen a
But
lot
it's
of
not-
those people.
It's more their mindset more than the phones.
Yeah.
Like
I,
fault.
for one, blame the school system for letting us have failure as an option because you have credit recovery hours at the end of every 6 weeks, which just encourages you to fail and just be like, oh, I'll just make everything up in 1 week.
That no, you can't.
And then like,
You can't.
oh, your star test? Oh, you
Well, you
failed?
can't 'cause that
Oh,
one-
you can
I did
retest
that.
it. Oh, don't worry, you can take it next year.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you're encouraging failure. It used to be like if you failed your star test, you were repeating the grade. Now it's
Yep,
like there is such like a taking system where it's like, don't worry if you failed. It's okay. You can take it again and again and again. And then it just looks bad at the school because it's like, oh, it's okay to fail, and now you want to punish us even though you told us it's okay to fail.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of a school system problem than an actual student problem. They're just gonna put the blame on us. 'Cause
So how can teachers fix this problem of failure and
Well,
class?
really, I mean, we could separate the ones that like,
that act up.
yeah, kind of. But really, that wouldn't work still because that'd bring the school down and like, you know.
Because we're a fair trade school.
Yeah, and like,
Mhm.
I mean,
Except everyone.
I'm not saying that, you know, these people don't deserve education because everyone deserves education. That's for sure.
They
But
just don't take it as
They just
seriously.
don't take it as seriously as other people.
And we can't say like, oh, let's put all of them in the classroom
Yeah.
because you're separating them. You're like singling them out, and then putting 30 like
discriminatory.
in a sense class clowns into one class. How's that gonna make it better?
That's called the class clown class.
Yeah, it's a class clown class.
Yeah,
it's like
but
putting
at
all
the
the
same
bad
time-
kids in ISS.
you can't mix the good and the bad together because the ones that are trying to learn aren't gonna learn with people interrupting them.
Because they're getting.
Well, we do have the
distracted.
AP
So-
classes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You're
but
saying
still-
that you're putting everyone, the clown kids, into
I,
one
I,
bad
I know
class.
I know some like people that are in AP
And it's supposed to
classes
be like that.
Clowns and like that.
Oh yeah, they're still clowns. You can be smart and still be a clown.
But you still want to learn. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
There's a difference of being a clown and like wanting to
Actually
learn.
study.
You know, like
Mhm.
you can be funny and still want to learn, but these kids like nowadays they just don't want to learn. Like they just want to joke around.
I-
They come to school just to associate with their
I
friends.
feel so old whenever we say like these kids
These
now.
kids.
Now.
Kids now.
now
Well,
this day.
because
Kids
the
nowadays.
lower generation.
Them
not
young
us.
kids.
Because,
16
you
kids
know, like-
now.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, like we're like juniors and seniors, and like
We're
these
still in
people
high
don't get
school.
it. Like
I'm gonna graduate and I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry with you.
So do you think that if teachers start taking away phones immediately when they see them, that students will start putting them up more?
No,
Yeah,
not
it
really.
hasn't fixed it in 6 years. It ain't gonna
But
fix it
teachers
this
haven't
year.
been picking them up.
Yeah, they haven't, if
say
they start
will.
immediately picking them up as soon as they
Immediately
see them,
picking
kids
them
are
up?
gonna learn real quick to put them up.
Yeah.
Because they don't have $15
But
every
still,
time
that's
to
not gonna
get 'em
change the
back.
problem.
Yeah,
because, I
and
mean,
then-
they can still ask their parents. I mean,
Yeah,
trust me,
and then
I
you're
know a lot of people that can ask their
And
parents.
not every teacher is
So?
gonna assert the rule. I mean, because we have a lot more like lenient teachers.
We have some teachers that don't
They
care
just
about
don't
many
care.
of the
They're
rules.
like, oh, we got the rule. I don't care.
Whatever.
Some teachers, they're already strict as it is. Like
Mhm.
they'll write your referral just for like talking.
True.
But all in all, the bigger picture is it's the students' fault.
Yeah.
I
Because
feel like if they were to take the phones away though, like it wouldn't change anything because they still have their friends to talk to and like they're still gonna be distracted in class. Like nothing's gonna change. They think it's all the phones and
Yes,
it's
I
not.
feel like we would just have a bunch of angry parents having to go and pick up the phones and telling
Spending
like
money.
Yeah,
I think
What if it's all just one big ploy to get more money for the school?
that's
It
ac-
probably really is. to be
that's actually
honest.
what happened.
Conspiracy
What's
theory?
it called?
I think it's gonna influence more skipping because then you're gonna be like,
Topic
well,
for
why do I want to go to class? I don't
Why
have
would I
friends
wanna
in
go to
there.
class if I
I
just don't
can't.
go to class?
I
can
can't
just
be
use
on
my
my phone. I'm
whatever.
gonna get my phone taken up if I go. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna skip class today, or I'm just not gonna go.
Yeah.
So to blame for all this is the students' fault, not the teachers.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The students wanted to go and be successful, and that's their problem.
You have the opportunity, you have the advantages, and
and
then you just.
A lot of people who
Promo
skip
it,
every day that
promo.
you see in the hall every day, they don't understand that like it's a privilege to have school. Like it
Yeah.
really is.
Especially since like you're getting your food paid for you, and you're like going taking these hours.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of families. Like,
Yeah.
remember when we started the dinner program, like after school, there were just kids that were crying because they didn't get to eat at home, and a lot of kids they just show up, they do not care, they skip every day, and
Mhm.
it's like, dude, these like some kids are fortunate enough just to eat.
Yeah, like whenever my mom told me at her school she actually had to pay for her lunch, like literally like she didn't even have enough for lunch sometimes, but she couldn't even pay.
Yeah, our class when we were younger, we had to play.
Yeah, we
like,
had to
we
pay
had to pay
when
like
we were
internet and
kids.
stuff.
Yeah, I remember you have to pay like a few bucks. Man.
Yeah.
This real life and it just sucked. But yeah.
And some people don't have school. They don't know. They don't learn. They don't know anything. They just work. They grow up working.
Like I don't even think I got free lunch until sophomore year.
I think so.
I was like, dude, that's like 10 years of my life. I never ate school food until like sophomore year.
Me too. Me
I'm still a little sad.
So do you think if teachers maybe thought of more like lesson plans that are more interesting, that are more effective, that the students could get involved in more, that maybe students will try harder, or if the teachers like
So what you're saying, like if a
were
class
more
would be
personal
more
with each
interesting?
student, that the students would feel like maybe they need to step it up a little.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it could work. I mean, I know some teachers like kind of, personally at least, like I mean, I'll sit down and talk with them and all that, like see how they're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if a teacher sees a student failing or not doing too good, they should pull them aside and tell them like,
Yeah, like
hey,
what's up?
come on, like yeah. But some teachers don't do that. They just wait till the end and let them know they're failing.
But a lot of the times the students don't really care. Like the teachers could tell them, but the students really
Yeah.
don't care. They
But
won't.
then that's on them. But there's some kids
Yeah.
that like they have stuff going on at home and like, and so they come to school and they just, don't.
But if a teacher were to be like,
Yeah,
would
like-
assert them, then maybe they'd be like, oh, someone does care about.
Like my grades and like
Mhm.
like maybe I should actually try, but no, like the teachers like if they see you failing, like they won't say anything until the end of the 6 weeks and they're like you're failing. Are you gonna pick up your grade? Like what are you gonna do? Like most teachers don't try to encourage the kids to get better. Like they just
Yeah.
they're just there to teach.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Do y'all think having headphones in class should be just prohibited?
No.
It depends
I
on
don't think so.
what we're doing. Like if the teacher's at the front of the class talking, then obviously you shouldn't have your
Yeah.
headphones
You
in.
should
But if
take 'em
you're working on an assignment by yourself, like if she tells you like do your worksheet or
Here's a
whatever, and you have
project.
your headphones in, then that's fine. But if she's talking, then obviously you should take your
You
headphones
should
out.
listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like cause like speaking of that, like in ELA, we have to do writing, right?
Mhm.
Creative writing, or like you have to write for like 45 minutes straight. Like the moment the bell rings, you have to write for 45 minutes. And like I've always been the person I've like you know, in a sense, like social anxiety, to where like if everyone's quiet in a room, it really messes with my head. Because I feel like, am I making too much noise? Like, I feel like, are my
yeah.
steps too loud?
Yeah.
Like, is my writing, like, it starts messing with my mindset.
Writing too loudly.
Yeah, it really messes with my brain to the sense where, like, I'll freeze up. But if I, like, listen to music while I'm doing something, I
You're
just,
fine,
yeah,
right?
I feel fine. Like, I feel like I can write, and I feel like I just don't have that anxiety anymore. And to me, it helps me write.
Yeah.
Or even if I'm reading, it helps me concentrate a little bit better.
So recently, last year, we got an F rating at
Yeah.
school.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What do you think? What can we do to fix that?
Well,
That has to do with everything right now.
clearly
we were just talking
studying.
about.
Studying, paying attention, actually doing their work.
I think should we even set our standard too? Because I don't really think we can get ourselves to an A. Because, I mean, we're a school that accepts all and has everyone coming in at open arms. Because we're not like, you don't score high enough on our test, you're not allowed. You don't present a high enough GPA, you're not allowed. We'll allow anyone.
Like how you said, we're fair.
Yeah, we'll allow anyone in with open arms. So I really think we need to set like a goal for ourselves to see like where should we be and where do we want to be. Because I think if we just reside on the F and be like, well, we want to be an A and we want to be an A, I think we're focusing too much on being like something that we can achieve when we probably should be focusing on something that we should be achieving.
Also though, like, yes, we let everyone in, but that's also an excuse because other schools let other people in and they don't have an F rating. They let everyone in, they don't have an F rating. So
This-
is it?
Well, we're the biggest school district.
This town just
Okay,
has
there's
a
other
lot more
towns.
people than, like, let's say like Bishop or Rivera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
but
town
there's
just has
other towns
more.
in
Yeah.
Texas that
This
let
town just has
people
more
in.
people than them,
Yeah,
and I
but
feel like we take in
for
more
our community.
kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that live in Rivera or Bishop, whatever, they come
They come
to
here.
Kingsville,
Yeah.
and we also have them, and we have like just people from other places, and yeah, we just have a lot. I just have bigger population, I think.
And plus, how would it feel if how would it sound if your teacher's like, okay, last year we had an F rating. Come on, guys, let's really pick it up. Let's get that D rating. Let's go, boys. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it
You
doesn't
want to
sound
say,
like,
let's get an
oh,
A.
let's get a D, let's get a C.
You gotta say, we're striving to be the
We're
best we
striving-
possibly
yeah.
can.
Yeah.
I mean, can we really even compare ourselves to different school districts? Because, I mean, like, we're 4A, so we compare ourselves to 4A. It's like, what are we comparing? Like Corpus? San Antonio? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, closer to that.
Yeah.
I mean, but look at them. They have a way bigger budget, like
Definitely.
substantially larger, so they can afford different teachers, different classrooms. They can
All the
they
stuff
can
they need.
afford
Different
the-
programs.
Yeah, they can afford different programs.
Mhm.
You know, they can afford to actually go through like all this stuff of trial and error. We're more of like a budget school, so we don't have that trial and error with
Yeah.
money that they can and go through. Because as getting teachers, it's already hard enough to get teachers. Because remember this program, AV. If it wasn't for Mr. Barber, we wouldn't even have an AV program.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Automotive. One time we weren't even gonna have the automotive if it wasn't for Mr. Consu.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's very hard to even get teachers here in Kingsville. It's not like Corpus. Corpus is a nice area. A lot of teachers want to work there. San Antonio is a really nice area. A lot of teachers want to work there. But when we come down to Kingsville, it's really hard to get workers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of the teachers here, they don't even live here. Like, there's some that live in over there in Agua
Yeah.
Dulce. There's some that live in. Our trainer here lives in Corpus,
Right.
and there's like a lot of like teachers that don't even live here.
Yeah.
And for a lot of them, it's like their first job, like, and they've
Mhm.
just stuck around.
Yeah, because they enjoyed it.
Do y'all think? Remember last year when we had that study hall for like 45 minutes, or what was it? During fourth period, we had extra time to like do
Oh,
homework,
Yeah, it was a break.
tutorial time.
Yeah, tutorial.
Do y'all
Starbucks or
think
whatever.
that was
Tablets.
effective? That we should have brought that?
It wasn't really
Actually,
effective because it was
no.
45 minutes of skipping.
Do you think that maybe if the teachers would have enforced it more to make sure every student stayed in class, and did their homework, that maybe or studied?
If they,
Are we
if they,
talking about the Star Blitz? Is that what that was?
If
No,
they-
remember during fourth period how fourth period last year was like
You would have a break period.
an
Yeah,
hour
so
30
you-
minutes long
Oh,
because we
yeah.
had like that tutorial
That-
period.
Yeah,
That was
because you had to
stupid.
catch up on work.
You're
from
right,
other
last
classes.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think that was like that would have been effective if the teachers actually like
Enforced
They
it.
just
yeah
stayed
like
in
enforced it more.
class.
and not even like stay in class. Like if you're going to another class to do your work, like make sure you were going to, you know, like
Yeah,
everybody
like-
just like
Well,
used
to
it
do
as a
that,
skipping
they
period.
said that
like
you had to
nobody
get
really
a
did
note the
homework.
previous day. You had to get a note the previous day.
Yeah, but I mean, and you can ask
Some
like,
teachers
a-
enforced it and some didn't. Some were
Yeah.
just like,
Right.
yeah,
I
go.
saw a lot of kids,
So a
like-
lot of people were skipping.
Yeah, I've seen, but I also did see like a lot of kids like who did ask the teacher if they could come in during that time. Like I know I had
Yeah.
Pulido like 5th period, and there was a bunch of kids coming in asking if they could come the next day, asking her for passes. I know there was a lot of kids like,
Yeah, there were some kids who
asking.
took advantage of that and
Yeah.
actually did study and get
And
and
work
it did
I
done.
think that
improve
was a
some
good
of their grades. The
time.
people who
Yeah.
did utilize it.
It was a good time to pick up your grades and stuff.
For me personally, it wasn't like the greatest because I had auto tech for 2 hours, and if you had a 2-hour class during that break, it just messed with your whole thing. Because for us, you had to go outside for 30 minutes, and then you had to come sit inside for 45 minutes. And if you had nothing to do, you still had to sit down for 45 minutes, and then we had to go back outside for 30 minutes. And I was like, I was caught
Study
up in
what?
everything. Yeah, study what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything.
So,
For some people,
so
it's
for
just
45
like,
minutes, I was sitting down and I was like, can I go outside and work? And he was like, no, you have to sit down and study. Well, I had nothing to study. So for 45 minutes, every day, I could have been doing something outside, like working on a vehicle and actually learning. But instead, I have to sit inside a classroom for 45 minutes and do nothing but play on my phone.
Yep.
Because I was caught up on my work. So for me, if you had a 2-hour class that was like a curricular class like that,
Yeah.
that class was gone. Like, you might as well not even show up to that class.
Yeah. Well, for most people, it was effective.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it really helped.
Not
And
for
it
us.
stinks for like the people that actually did want, like, it was useful for them because now we don't have it, and so they don't get to like.
Yeah, they don't get to
Yeah,
utilize
and most
that
teachers-
opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most teachers want to do it in the morning now since we do come in at 9. They want to do it in the morning, but like a lot of kids maybe just don't have a ride or just don't have time to do it in the morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were easily able to get here at 8.
Come on, me.
I mean, we're easy.
Yeah, they got here
Because
at
their
8
parents
last
would leave
year.
to, like, you know,
Yeah.
like some people's parents, they go into work at 8. So at 9, like, they probably have to ask a friend, and maybe a friend doesn't want to go in the morning. Like,
Yeah, but we start at 9 now.
Yeah, a lot of people still don't have rides. Like me, I never have a ride in the
Yeah,
morning. That's why I'm
yeah.
late every
Calista
single
doesn't
day.
have a ride. Albert doesn't have a ride. Like, I would have to
They
pick
don't have a
Albert
ride
up.
at 8 either. That's what they're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't have a ride. Like even though they gave us an extra hour in the morning, like some people still don't have rides. Like
Yeah, I recently got a truck, so.
oh,
Well, not
It's
everyone
like-
can get a truck.
yeah, well,
No,
yeah,
I-
everyone
I-
has
I
rides.
know.
Flexing on us on the
Yeah.
most
Thanks
serious
flexing on
topic.
you.
Thanks for flexing.
Like
I'm
the only
flexing
reason that
on
we
you.
ever make it to school
I'm
at 8
actually
is
grateful I have a truck to like come.
I don't ever make it to school on time.
So what Grisette's trying to say is that some people don't have rides at 8, and their friends don't want to come in at 8 to take them to tutorials
Yeah.
because they come at 9.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's really no other, because a lot of teachers now, they really don't do them after school unless you go and you ask. Like, or if they have a lot of kids failing, or if you need to, like, make up a test, then they'll have them after school.
Yeah.
But the majority of the time, they want to do it in the morning, since they already have to come in at 7:45 in the morning. They want to do tutorials in the morning, but a lot of kids don't really like want to come that early, or
Yeah.
don't have rides to come that early.
You think
And
maybe we
even
can
then,
make a
they
bus
say
system?
that it's like you come to tutorials or whatever, like so they can teach you, but you go and they don't really teach you. They give you
They
this.
don't.
They give you the work that you're missing, and they tell you to do it. Like,
Yeah.
but they don't really teach you during tutorials or like
Yeah, they
they.
don't teach
Yeah.
tutorials. I
That
feel like
doesn't help
tutorials
the
should
kids.
be like maybe going over the lesson in depth more.
Yeah.
I-
Like Alyssa
actually
said,
help them
all they're doing
understand.
is just giving you.
Like you
Or, like,
go
if you
and
have
you're like, I'm
questions.
failing. Can you like help me? And like they say yes. They give you your work and like they don't help you unless you ask them like personally like, what do I do on this question? Then they explain a little bit,
One
but then
question
they'll
and
like go
one
sit back down, and let you do the rest by yourself. Like they don't go in depth. Like, what is the purpose of calling it tutorials if you're not gonna help me? Like
Yeah.
But it's not really
technically
tutoring.
not a
Yeah,
tutoring.
exactly right.
So like, what can we do to like get our like, what's it called? Our opportunities back, or not opportunities, more like
Privileges.
yeah, our privileges such as like using our phone during class.
I mean, it's gonna have to be grades, obviously. You have to get the grades up.
Yeah, everybody has to work hard to get their grades up, but a lot of kids like even though they're saying like we can't use our phones, these kids are still not gonna do their
Yeah.
work. Like they're not gonna
Yeah.
worry about it. They're gonna be more mad like in class. You're like I'm bored, like
Yeah.
just sitting there, and they're not gonna want to do it.
And we still have the 6 weeks rule where you only have to pass 2 of your 3 6 weeks. Because if you fail the last 6 weeks, but if you have 2 good enough grades in the first 6 weeks, you still pass the semester. So
Yep.
you still have that mindset that it's okay to fail
Yeah.
every 6 weeks. Like I can fail 2 6 weeks.
Well, that's news to me because I never even heard of that.
Yeah, neither
Didn't
Yeah,
even knew that.
that's also news to me. I've never heard of it.
Well, I mean, it's still a thing. It's still like a failure rule where you can still fail, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's all right because your grades were good enough."
Yeah.
Like I feel like we have too many like it's okay
It's
to
too
fail.
lenient.
It's like it's okay to fail a semester. It's okay to fail tests. It's okay not to come to school. It's okay to fail the STAR test. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's like
I remember hearing as a kid that if you fail the tax test, you're redoing that
yeah,
entire.
you're redoing the year.
You're redoing that entire
Right,
year,
I
and now
remember
they give you like
tax. I
multiple
remember tax.
occasions to try and like fix
Yeah,
your
we
star.
used to even put you in like remedial classes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now, like, you don't even get, like, like, I haven't heard of them getting put in a remedial class. Either you take, like, you take the course again for the semester, and if you fail, like, when you take it, because I know they take it in December. So if you fail in December, then you just continue, like, with the next semester, and that's it. But you're still taking your like, next grade, like, classes. You're
I
not
used
really.
to know seniors, they would be taking freshmen STAR tests
Mm-hmm.
like as a senior, and they're still not passing it. Like they would purposely put C all the way, put their head down, wouldn't care.
But it's so much easier, like, to get it done the first year. Like, I mean, in my opinion, like, it's so like, you wouldn't have to go through all that stuff worrying about, oh, if you have to graduate or not. You have all your tests, like, all you need to do is pass your classes, like.
But going back to the phone thing, do you think, like, as we said earlier, teachers need to stick with it? Last year they started doing do y'all remember at one point whenever they were enforcing this rule again, like no phones? It was the beginning last year too. They tried doing the no phones and then they just stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if you just continue enforcing it, then eventually they'll get used to not having their phones so much
Mm-hmm.
in class. Because I know one teacher does not, from the beginning of the first day of class, no phones at all. They made like a contract for it and everything, and now I'm just, you don't have your phone in the class, it's not a big deal. Like, I think students are just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do without my phone? But if they realize that it's not so bad without your phone, and it's better to learn and just be fine with your grade,
Yeah, and
like
like
high grade.
I mean,
then
I'm
people
really
will
hating that they took our like, you know, our actual like us having phones, because like some of us like, you know, like some of us that are in NHS and like Remind and all that, like we get reminded of like notifications and all that.
Yeah, but you
saying,
can
like-
check your phone during passing period.
I mean,
It's not a
that's
big
true,
deal.
yeah, but still, like, what if you get it like, hey, like I need some person immediately, like right now, like, you know.
And I think teachers would be lenient also, like, you can hear your phone buzz that you got a notification, just check it real quick. If it looks important, okay.
Yeah.
But I think teachers are saying like, students are, like, watching Netflix and stuff. But I think that's the problem throughout is students, and
Mm-hmm.
that should be.
Our freshman year, they did not allow phones, like, period, and passing, like, in the halls.
Oh yeah. it
If
was a
we had
problem.
our phone in the halls, they would take it from us, like, if they saw us with it. Like, we weren't even allowed
Even
to have our phones in the halls.
cafeteria.
Yeah, in the
Even,
cafeteria
if
too,
you
we
were
could
sitting
not
on
have our
your,
phones.
cafeteria with
Yeah,
your
I
phone,
remember
they
my
would pick it
freshman
up
year.
and you-
And that really, like,
They did the
that's
same thing our
stunk,
freshman
you
year.
know, but, like, now I feel like you look around the cafeteria and that's all people have is their phones out.
Mm-hmm.
See, but I don't think that's really a problem. Like,
No.
lunch is the
No.
time to.
Well, lunch
No,
is
in the
like free.
cafeteria.
Yeah,
that's
see
not much
that,
of a
but that
problem
should be
then.
the only time we should use our phone. Like, we get 5 minutes during passing period to check all of our notifications and stuff. During lunch, we get 30, 45 minutes to be on our phone the whole lunch period. Like, it doesn't hurt to put your phone down for 20, 30 minutes during class while the teacher's teaching.
Yeah.
Like, I understand if you're already done with your work and you want to be on your phone, okay, then that's, you know, acceptable. But, like, if the teacher's talking, put your phone down. Like, it's not hard. Like, these kids make it seem like it's the end of the world if they can't use their phone during
Yeah,
class.
like they'll die if like they just
I
can't.
think,
I'm saying kids like I'm not one.
Another thing we should bring back is remember the teachers that used to have like almost like a shoe holder, and,
Oh,
like
yeah.
you
Oh,
put your
yeah.
phone in there,
Yeah.
You put
and then
your
at
phone
the
in.
end of the 6 weeks they give you bonus points. I
Miss
thought that
Hearn.
was always something that was
Yeah,
kind
Miss
of
Hearn.
cool.
Miss
Yeah.
Rivera,
Yeah, Miss Rivera still
pre-cal,
does
she
it.
does it.
Yeah, she does it, but a lot of teachers don't. But I think that's gonna be everything we're gonna be talking about today. That's all the time that we have. So this has been Let's Talk. I'm Angelo.
I'm Grisette.
I'm Catalina.
Callista.
I'm Luis.
And I'm Caleb.
Thank you for watching Let's Talk, and we'll see you on the next one.